so glad to see you tonight. Got us a good Wednesday night crowd here. Hymns tonight. Got 2 songs picked out. Don't even have to change the page. We're going to sing 362 first. And then in a little while we'll sing 363. So you can just leave it open and be ready for the next one. So let's turn to 362. That's going to be Rescue the Perishing. Everybody can stand, and that's what we'll start with for our first hymn. So good to have you here against the good-looking Wednesday night crowd we have tonight. Let's hope everybody's having a good week. I hope, like me, that you just continue to be encouraged since Sunday. Several people have gone out of their way to just make mention of how good the kids did on Sunday, and there's been a lot of pictures added daily if you're on Facebook, and people commenting on how great our kids were in their performances. And so I was so proud of them on Sunday. They all did a great job, and we're gonna. It's the 4th Wednesday night of the month when we do practice. So that's next Wednesday. So kids, we're gonna start right up next Wednesday. Start working on the next one, and start getting ready for the youth service. And take a few months and get ready for that. We start working on the next 13 letters of the alphabet for the verses and some music, and have something else good to share with y'all. But that was a good day, a good service, and I sure enjoyed it, and I know all you did as well. A few things to remember we got here in the bulletin. Homecoming coming up September the 9th. And do have the bulletin board. Encourage you to be thinking about what you can write about memories of this church and what this church means to you, young and old alike. Anybody that wants to put anything on the board, and we'll make that part of our memory book sometime after homecoming. The schedule we're going to have for that day is going to be at 10 o'clock. We'll have Sunday school. And Bobby Poole is going to speak to the adult class in Sunday school that morning and share some about the work that's going on. Then at about 10:30, we'll start the worship service, and we'll have 8th day we'll sing, and then Bobby Poole will speak after they have to carry out the remainder of the service before we have our lunch. We'll be getting some dates in the bulletin for cleanup. We're going to do what we did last year, which is have a working Wednesday, the Wednesday before homecoming. Well, we'll start a little early, probably at 6:30, and we will have a devotion time together, and then spread out and do work around the church. Previously it had been a Thursday night, and last year did a working Wednesday, and it worked really well. I had more people were able to be here, got a lot more accomplished. So we will remind you of that in the bulletin. But But I do encourage you, if you have a classroom that you use routinely, if you can take a moment, just kind of clean up in there and organize things a little bit, whatever you might have, just make it look a little better with the materials that you use, or papers and crayons and things. Get those kind of organized before homecoming. Then when we have that work Wednesday, we can really focus on cleaning, a little extra cleaning the bigger areas of the church and some things that might need to get done as once a year type things before that big day. We'll get all that ready. Also want to remind you this Sunday, having a baby shower from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock for Kelly, for baby boy, registered at Target. We want you to support them as that time gets closer. Ladies Auxiliary Men's Fellowship is this coming Monday at 6:30. 2 weeks from tonight will be fifth Wednesday night, so we'll be having a finger food fellowship, devotion time in here, standard time 7 o'clock. We'll have devotion together, and then eat, enjoy fellowship. So that would actually be, that Wednesday will be the fifth Wednesday fellowship in here. The next Wednesday would be a working Wednesday. So 2 in a row, we'll have some special things happening. Upcoming speakers, Charlie's speaking for us tonight. This Sunday at 9 o'clock. I'm pretty sure Michael's speaking at 9 this Sunday. And then we'll have Donnie Miles back with us for the 11 o'clock service. David Mullen the following Sunday. Then Edwin Miles, and the following Sunday will be homecoming. And do have a change as far as mentioning the revival, because I spoke today with Jim McComas, and him taking full responsibility for it. He did not have it marked on his calendar. And he is already scheduled to be in 3 different states that week, and already has lodging and travel arrangements lined up. So he will not be able to be with us. He is going to get with us about dates next year that he's available for Sunday through Wednesday for revival, and we'll go ahead and get him booked in to be a revival series next year. But we are in discussions right now. You're still intending to have revival services September 30th through October 3rd, and you're looking at what options are as potentially one speaker coming in, or getting various speakers to come and do one service apiece, or what we might do. But we'll still have a time together that same scheduled time. Is there anything else anybody can think of we need to make mention of for the church tonight?
Lee, I will mention this. I don't know the exact date, but he's supposed to be at Gideon.
Yeah. It's early, like first week of September, I think.
Yeah.
He's already going to be in the area.
Anyone that wants to, you do that.
Okay. He was going to reach out to the Home Missions Board, see if anyone else on the board might be available at that time before we start looking for maybe some local speakers to come in. Anyone want to share a prayer request this evening?
At least they want to remember Debbie Exum, the dear Miller and Girl,
Okay.
all doing cancer.
Glad to have Ms. Margie Phil being here tonight. We prayed for her. I know she appreciates everybody been praying for her recently, and so glad she could be here. Any others?
Cousin Lacey's having some health issues, and she's having to see a surgeon.
Anybody else? Mason? Okay. Any others? Ms. Kathy?
Continue praying for Woody and Brendan is doing very
Good.
very good.
Yeah, Richard?
I gotta go to the dentist, and I had a little bit of trouble today. I did take care of the brother.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a day. I was that fond of me. We were in the bed day.
James? Gage,
got a boo-boo,
Gage
he's got a
scratched his
Band-Aid.
arm up and he's got Band-Aids on. I think that's what the thumbs up was for, say it's okay. He wasn't happy about that earlier. Now let's go to the Lord in prayer. After that, we'll sing 363 together. Mr. Harvey, you mind leading us in prayer this evening?
Heavenly Father, just thank you for the privilege of being in your house tonight. Lord, guide us and protect us and touch our hearts that on these people that need you so bad, that as we need you. Lord, every day so much is going on in this world. And thank you for letting us allow us to be in a country that we can worship you.
Yes.
And just look down upon us and open our hearts and our minds to your word tonight. In Jesus Christ's name,
Amen. Let's all stand together. 363. After that, greet somebody and our classes will be dismissed. Mingle, talk amongst yourselves, mingle all you want. I always feel like I'm teaching Sunday school again.
Michelle can still pick on you.
That's right.
Just like in class.
I
will be passing out Bible verses to read just like Sunday. I will call on you in a heartbeat. One announcement that Lee, we just totally slipped our mind about announcing is, we all know, we've got a pretty healthy building fund looking at some upgrades around the church, and one thing we're looking at is upgrading our audio video setup. And along with that, we was, don't have a hard date set yet. Like I said, we're still looking at different options and all. But one thing that you might run across is you got a nice setup, everything is great, it works like a champ. But when you only got maybe one or two people that can run it, what good does that do you? Not a bit of good. If you got a nice car in the driveway, nobody knows how to drive it, guess what? That's a nice car in the driveway. So, once we narrow down exactly what the system's going to look like, the upgrades we're going to make, probably going to ask if anybody would care to help out with that ministry. I think we can all agree it's very important. You got a singer up there, music sounds great, or you watching the video, you getting motivated, you seeing the slides that the preacher's putting on. It's just an added benefit. And if anybody would like to take part of that, trust me, it will be, I've ran it a couple times, so if I can run it, trust me, it's dummy proof. So if anybody would like to be involved with that, you'll see any of the deacons, myself, Joel, whoever, and we'll get a date, time, and ideas together, and definitely knock the train wheels off. Right on. Originally, I was scheduled to speak on the 22nd, and Rodney had some things come up, asked to, I think it might have been Saturday, Sunday, asked to switch around. I said, cool, no problem. And just like everybody else in here, my memory's like a dead elephant. So, made a reminder on my smartphone to remind me, hey, you got to speak. Go off about every day to remind me. It went off at 3:30 today. That was for to speak. So I said, Lord, help me out here. So this lesson, or this little devotion sermon right here does not come from me. Obviously, it is the Lord inspired, because Charlie did not have any planning in this at all. But let me ask you, how many people in here have stuff? I got stuff. I got stuff.
I got rid half
That's right.
mine, man.
You like your stuff? You work hard for your stuff, right?
Yeah.
What happens if somebody tries to take your stuff?
Uh-oh, that's true.
You get upset, right?
They get hurt.
They might get hurt. Ladies, you build a house, or you build a house. Trust me, I've been through it twice. You got it laid out. What's the first thing you want to do? Decorate it. You want to make it yours. Fill it full of stuff. Make it yours. Got it. 67 Camaro, Super Sport, board 30 over. Rumble. That's nice stuff. Something about men and their stuff, right? Might be like I said, that classic car, that boat, your house, that special set of tools that you got that you're so proud of, got your initials engraved in it so nobody walk off with it. But let me ask you, is it really your stuff? No. Whose stuff is it? God's. Main scripture today is going to come from Matthew 10, 37 through 39. Anyone who loves his father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. Anyone who loves his son or his daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And anyone who does not take his cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Whoever finds his life will lose it, and whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. So like I mentioned, this stuff right here, you don't usually part with it easy. You like to hold on to it. The verses there mention family. That's the one thing you got that's closest to you, or should be the closest to you, that you're not going to part with, not going to set asunder. But our homes, jobs, toys, our family, automobiles, they're not ours. They're just entrusted to us for a small little period of time by God. After all, God is the author of life. He decides when we're born. He decides when we die. He decides how prosperous we're going to be, how successful you're going to be, what trials you're going to go through, what promises are made to you All of that is God's. Now, He gives us the capability. He gives us the relationships we need, the drive you need to acquire things, to be able to be stewards of what you have. But ultimately, at the end of the day, God owns it all. We're on a long-term lease. That's pretty much where we are. Now, there's times when you have a tight grip on your things. You don't want to let it go. We all got stuff, we, admit it, that you don't want nobody to mess with. That is yours. You know what I mean? You got your machine. I got my smoker. I got my grill. That's my grill. I like the charcoal. I'm gonna mess with the grapes. I'm gonna flip the meat. That is my meat. Nobody touches it. That's Steph has stuff in her kitchen. She, if I go in there and start fiddling around with it, she's probably gonna, I'll start twisting. she ain't gonna tell me to stop. Well, she might, but she ain't gonna say don't stop. But she's gonna be right here over this shoulder. So we all have our stuff. Guys got their stuff. Ladies, y'all got your stuff too. So we all have stuff that we would not trust to our closest friends. Now, speaking of things that you hold close, your family, right? Everybody here recall or remember the story about Abraham and Isaac? Isaac was what? That was Abraham's, that was his pride and joy. This man was 100 years old, never had a child of his own. God blessed him with Isaac. You think he loved Isaac? No doubt. You think he cared for Isaac, wanted to see Isaac succeed, was protective of Isaac? Of course he was. Now, being